Good morning, GVA. Mr. Ruley here for the morning announcements on Friday, February 26th, 2021. Kicking it off one more time here with staff pets. Had so many good staff pet submissions. I'm trying to get through all of these here. So I hope you're having fun with this matching game. Here we have Mrs. Johnson, who teaches third grade. Which pet or pets belong to her? How about Mrs. Lester in kids care? Who belongs to Mrs. Lester? What about Mrs. Diaz in second grade? Who do you think are her pets or pet? And then what about Mrs. Chavez in kindergarten there? Can you figure this one out? All right, you think you have it? Well, let's see which pets belong to which teacher. All right. Oh, look at Mrs. Johnson, her two furry little canine friends right down there. Mrs. Lester, I think that's Yoda. I could be mistaken about that, but I think many of you know her dogs. Then Mrs. Diaz, oh, isn't that a cute little puppy there? And of course we have Mrs. Chavez with a feline and a canine friend. All right, well, these have been a lot of fun. Hope you're enjoying that too. Always fun to look at pets. All right, continuing here. Saw a great nature scavenger hunt out there the other day. So Mrs. Sherrar's class was out and about using their eyes to notice beautiful things all around them. Things like flowers and trees and birds. You know how much I love birds. So they had a checklist of things they had to find. Things like ants, spiders, and leaves. And they were using a very important thinking skill called figure ground. Everyone say that after me. Figure ground. All right. Figure ground is a thinking skill where you look at a lot of things, but you're trying to only find one thing. So that's where you have a picture in your mind of what you're looking for, and then you can kind of tune out all the stuff you're not looking for. Like, we're not looking at the lawn or the trees right now. We're trying to find that bird, and you're focusing in on that bird. And that's an important thinking skill because oftentimes in life you have to scan through information, try to find the one piece of information you need. We use that every day, almost all day long, as we're, getting to school, finding our classrooms, as we're looking for words and stories or those important details that really matter. Now, later in life, that kind of that thinking skill really changes and grows into finding more abstract pieces of information. Like the summary to a story could be a piece of figure ground where you're just looking for the important essence of what you're looking for. I know in a lot of classes you talk about that as finding the gist. Well, finding the gist is really is a complicated form of figure ground. All right, a little bit of brain neurology there for you. Figure ground, very important thinking skill. Moving right along here. All right, I am so happy to announce that next week we will be celebrating the joy of reading and participating in Read Across America. Now, this coincides with Dr. Seuss's birthday, and so many times we celebrate Dr. Seuss Day as part of Read Across America. But we want to just highlight the idea of how important reading is and how much fun it can be. Now, keep in mind that homework every night at GVA is to read for 20 minutes every night. At least 20 minutes. And if you're reading for 20 minutes every night, there are so many benefits. So what happens if you're just learning to read and you can't read a whole book yourself just yet? Hey, that's totally fine. You could take a book and open it up and look through the pictures and try to think about what story the pictures are trying to tell you. If you're able to do that, then the next step would be finding words in those books that you know. Just scan through there, use that figure ground skill and look for words that you know, and then read those words. Well, hey, how about finding a friend or a family member to read a book to you? That's a great form of reading, and that's always an okay thing to do for homework at GVA. Have someone read to you, that's great. You get a lot out of that too. And of course, reading a book all on your own. It can be a graphic novel, it can be cartoons, it can be a novel, it can be, anything that really gets you to read is really going to be okay. We want to make it easy to be successful here. So all next week, we're highlighting the idea of how important it is to read. Make sure that you are reading every day. And also, we'll be celebrating with books on video. I'll be recording a number of Dr. Seuss books for you. You can check those out if you'd like. I was also able to interview a number of different authors, people that have written professional books and have been selling them in bookstores. Well, I got a chance to really sit down with a few different authors there and ask them about how they became a published author and what it took to write a story like that. So I hope you find those very interesting. I know a lot of classrooms are planning a lot of fun Spirit Day events and ways to pump up the idea of reading. So Read Across America next week, folks. Let's make sure we are all getting out there and remembering to read every day. It's so important, and I hope you really enjoy the idea of how fun books can be. So Hope you're interested in celebrating that with us next week. Looking forward to it a lot. All right, transitioning here a little bit. I want to talk about, a good piece of character to have is making right turns only, right? On one level, that means like, you're making good decisions. You're doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. But here, I want to talk about it very literally when it means turning into the Tully parking lot. As cars are all trying to come into the Tully parking lot, I know traffic gets congested out there, and one thing we can do to help out is to make sure that you are making a right turn into the Tully parking lot only. Now, making a left turn out there really does cause a lot of problems and complications. We have people who are patiently following the rules and waiting their turn to make a right in there. And when you make a left into that parking lot, it really disrupts traffic an awful lot. So, hey folks, look, we got to make right turns into the Tully parking lot. I know it takes a little bit to get through that line. I encourage you to wait a little bit and not try to all show up at the, just 12:30 right when we are starting pickup there. You can wait a little bit because we keep that parking lot open until 1, and quite honestly by 12:40, by 12:45 the parking lot's pretty clear. So maybe wait a little bit and then come through the Tully parking lot. It's just more time that we get to spend with your kids, and that's totally okay. We keep that lot open until 1 o'clock, so you've got plenty of time to get through there. But let's remember to make right turns only. And to all of those of you who are following the rules and being very patient, man, I really appreciate it. It does make a big difference. I'm proud of you guys for doing it because it's not always easy. All right, folks, right turns only. All right, finishing us up today here, I want to take one more look at Black History Month here. So today we're looking at milestones in the past and where we are today. We want to recognize the successes of inclusion and embracing diversity and acknowledge how much work we all need to put in to ensure that everyone, and I mean everyone, has a fair opportunity to be successful. So rounding out this 4-part series for Black History Month, we're looking at then and now. One more time, I want to thank you, Mrs. Levias and Mrs. Walker, for putting all of this together and make sure you share this very important information with all of us. All right, folks, that is all for me today. I want to remind you to be kind, have fun, do your best, and as always, read every day. Take good care, everyone.
Hey, it's Mrs. Harrington with Gems from Gems, coming to you again in the classroom. You can kind of see what's behind me, a messy desk. Over here, that is Mr. Gilson's desk, Mr. Shipper's desk. So I want to share with you this week's quote, which is in honor of Black History Month. February is Black History Month. So I'm sharing a quote from you that I've had for a long time, but I decided to save it. It's a quote from Oprah Winfrey. The quote is, "Lots of people want to ride with you in the limo, But what you want is someone who will take the bus with you when the limo breaks down. Lots of people want to ride with you in the limo, but what you want is someone who will take the bus with you when the limo breaks down. What does this mean? I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Sometimes, unfortunately, people want to be around you because you have things, or you know people, or you have money, or you have stuff, and they want to be your friend for that reason, or they want to be your friend because you're a popular person. They want to hang with you. They want to be with you. But what it's saying is the kind of friends you want are people that will be with you both the good times and the bad. In the limo, the great fun thing, but when something bad goes wrong on the bus, that they'll stick with you either way. So it's a great quote. It's a good way to look at friends. You want someone that's going to stick with you through good and bad, through thick and thin. All right, have a good weekend. Bye.
Hello, dear GVA families. We've been talking about character traits: humility, contentment, dependability, and patience. And today we will talk about truthfulness. But what is truthfulness? It is speaking only what is honest and factual. Now, the opposite of truthfulness is lying. Lying is hiding the truth by my words or actions. Doing the right thing is not always simple, especially when you're trying to tell the truth and you may be hurting someone else's feelings or making someone else angry. But if we tell the truth, people will trust us over time and it will draw us closer. Lying really hurts relationships. Telling the truth is sometimes easy if we write it down, because words can be hard to say. But if we're hiding something, telling the truth can make us feel a whole lot better. So the sooner we own up to lying, turn around and tell the truth, the better we'll feel. So be honest and get out there and practice to tell the truth. And remember, character traits is not only about having good character, it's about choosing to love others and give the best of yourself. We love you, GVA family. Have a great weekend.